call the meeting to order. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is a regularly scheduled Greer City Council meeting convened and called on November the 26th, 2013. Having called the meeting to order, I would like to ask you to join us as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing while Councilwoman Judy Albert leads us in our invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we do thank you this time for your many blessings that you have shed upon us. We thank you for each day that you give us, and we pray that you will continue to bless our country and to bless our city. We ask your guidance with our leaders of our nation, that you will guide them in a way that will be pleasing in your sight, and may we always remain one nation under God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Ms. Duncan, anyone to appear in public forum this evening?
No, sir.
Thank you. We will then consider the minutes of our council meeting from November the 12th. I'll entertain a motion that they be received.
So motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any items of note for the clerk? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowwood?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Bookert?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. And I want to thank our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Wayne Griffin, for filling in for me as I was away at the National League of Cities meeting and was unable to make our last council meeting. I appreciate your assistance in that regard, and thank you, Council, for allowing me to attend that meeting on our behalf. Good meeting, and as always, as a result of these meetings, new ideas, both for myself, for our staff, and for the city. So we'll look forward to working on some of those in the coming year. We want to take time to give some special recognition to some folks that are recent winners in our Giving Thanks Art Show, and as you can tell, many of them have turned out on this rainy, cold evening to be with us this evening. And so with that, I'm going to ask Robin Bayou and Julia Black to join me here in the front. And as I call your name, if you'll come up, we want to give you a certificate and recognize you. And if you'll stay up here with us, we'll make sure that we've got enough room for you. And we want to get a picture when we get all of our winners up here. With that, I'm going to turn it over to you. How about that?
Just a few quick remarks. The Giving Thanks Art Show is one of 3 juried art shows we do during the year. It's a partnership between the City of Greer and the Greer Cultural Arts Council. The artwork was judged on the theme, What Am I Thankful For, and What Does Thanksgiving Mean to Me? The artwork could consist of pastel, pencil, paint, or crayon. With the addition of the wall gallery here at the Event Center, it makes a perfect venue for the artwork to be displayed. At this time, the Mayor will now recognize the winners.
Again, if you will join us here in the front. Our first place winner in grades K through 2 is Theo Marks. Theo's in the first grade. Theo, you with us? All right. Okay. We want to recognize Liz Anderson, who is in the first grade. She was the second place winner in K2. And Alyssa Black, who was the third place winner in K2. And I don't think any of those folks were able to join us this evening.
Here comes one.
Stay up here with us. Alyssa, we thank you for joining us. All bundled up on this cold, wet evening. Thank you for coming out. First place in grades 3 through 5 is Camden Howell, 5th grade winner.
All right.
And second place winner was Eva Anderson from the 3rd grade. I don't know if Eva's with us this evening or not, but we want to congratulate her as well, too. And 3rd place goes to Jake Campbell in grades 3 through 5. Jake. And in grades 3 through 5, we had a 4th place winner, and that is Megan Kelly. Is Megan with us this evening? In grades 6 through 8, our 1st place winner is Olivia Hinn. Our 2nd place winner is George Marks. Is George with us this evening? And our 3rd place winner was Ben Campbell. All right. Man back. In grades 9 through 12, our 1st place winner was Savannah Turner. Is Savannah here with us this evening? Don't know that she was able to make it. And 2nd place went to Ricky Carter. Third place goes to Alexa Rosenfeld. And 4th place went to Brittany Crumity. Let me back up just a second. We had actually a tie for 3rd place. We have 2 3rd place winners. Brantley Young was the other 3rd place winner in grade 9. And our 5th place winner from grades 9 through 12 is Morgan Long. Join me in giving these folks a round of applause. Yeah, let's do a picture. Get in, yeah. Right in, right there. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank y'all. We appreciate it. Sat down too early. We've got more awards to give. Mr. Seifert with us. David, if you'll join me, please. This is an annual event we never grow tired of. Mr. Seifert is our Chief Financial Officer for the city, and one of the things that his department is in charge of is the financial reporting for the city, and it is an area that we are extremely proud of. It is an area that we have brought light and transparency to in a number of unique and completely open ways, and I think our citizens benefit from that as well as our council and other staff members. And as a part of that process, They undergo, obviously, a great deal of scrutiny in terms of audit and reporting, and so we are pleased to announce that the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to the City of Greer by the Government Financial Officers Association of the United States and of Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report, which is called a CAFR. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. An award of financial reporting achievement has been awarded to the City of Greer and to David Seifert, Director of Finance and Information Technology. CAFR has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the highest standards of the program, including demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and motivate potential users and user groups to read our financial reports. The GFOA is a nonprofit professional organization serving approximately 17,500 government finance professionals. And David? Solid rock, just like our reporting, isn't it? Okay. And you'll notice 2012 is up there. That was only the most recent. We now will add the 2013 button. We've got plenty of room for many more on there because we have now earned how many in a row? 16. 16 in a row. So there are a number of these. Thank you very much. And appreciate the work of you and your staff. Would you like to thank that group?
As always, I'm very pleased to accept this on behalf of the Finance Department. It is truly a team effort, and I just want to issue some great big thank yous to them. This would not be possible without all the team members in finance. It is what they do every day that makes this possible. And Susan's in the back. She's my right-hand person. Special thanks goes out to Susan, too, sir. We're very pleased about this and certainly plan to continue this. Thank you.
Okay, and while we're on a roll, I'm going to ask Jim Headley if he would come up and join me. And Ann, you come on as well, too. And we'll ask your staff to stand there in just a moment. Let me introduce Jim Headley. He is the South Carolina Recreation and Parks Administration Executive Director. He is here to announce the 2013 South Carolina Recreation and Parks Association Parks Excellent Award. And I won't steal your thunder. I will turn it over to you at this point, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Dan and Councilman and Mr. Drager, sir. It's always a pleasure to be here. On behalf of our Board of Directors and over 100 cities and counties across the state, it does give me great honor and pleasure to be here this evening. As Mayor Dan mentioned, that the City of Greer won at our most recent South Carolina-North Carolina joint conference up in Raleigh, the 2013 Park Excellence Award. Just a little bit of history and some things to think about is that our board adopted several years ago a vision statement for our profession, and that is creating community through people, parks, and programs. And you know, it certainly is y'all making tough decisions day in, day out. Water, fire, sewer, all things very, very, very much needed. But you can tell across this state, those cities that go the extra mile and create a true sense of community. And that's where people want to live. And people want to live there because of the choices and the support that y'all make in supporting Ann and her staff. Ann is one of the state's better directors, more progressive directors, always keeps us on our toes, but better yet, is always willing to send her staff to some of our trainings, but also willing to give back. And that is so very, very vitally important, as y'all know, is that we learn from each other. And I would just like to again, and I do mean it, because y'all have some very, very tough choices. Just like businesses have choices where they want to relocate. And they look at things such as quality of life. And public parks and recreation is the quality of life. And I would just like to thank you for your support for public parks and recreation, because we know it's not always an easy choice. But it's something that every city and county that wants to be progressive and wants to grow and wants those businesses to come into their community and the people to come in and live, those are the departments and those are the cities that you certainly can see that continue to grow. So again, Mr. Driggers, thank you for the support that you give the staff and council. Thank you for the leadership and the vision that you give the Public Parks and Recreation Department here. As each of you know, parks are greatly positively affect the real estate values, contribute to the economic development of the community, not only through sports tourism, but also creating a positive image in the eyes of corporations when they relocate their businesses. They are something that we can see, and for the most part, they can measure. This is why everybody in this room has an option of where they like to live, and they choose to live here, the city of Greer, because of the fine facilities that you have. And with that, the city of Greer Parks and Recreation Department repurposed a 77-year-old building and turned it into a revenue-producing facility that has earned itself truly a Parks Excellence Award for 2013. The building, as each of you remember and recall, was originally constructed as the South Carolina National Guard Armory in 1936 and 37. After the new armory was built, the City of Greer Parks and Recreation Department used it for a youth and adult activity center and a meeting and training site for program volunteers and officials. It was officially closed in 2006 as it was in very much disrepair. In 2009, the building renovation was identified in the City of Greer Parks and Recreation Department's strategic master plan, and in 2011, the City of Greer began extensive renovations which were completed on July 22nd of 2012. The building, which is currently named the Cannon Center, in recognition of the Cannon family's contributions to the City of Greer's early government and provisions of property that today is a beautiful public space integral to the quality of life for this city. It houses the Greer Culture Arts Center and the theatrical productions. It is available to the public for rent for weddings, parties, meetings, banquets, etc. And in its first year of operation, the building was reserved over 164 times, generating a little over $68,000. Thanks to Mr. Driggers and the folks in finance, the rental income goes into an enterprise account, which goes back to support the facility. It goes back for repairs, equipment, and general expenses related to the Cannon Center. And in fact, it was really kind of interesting. A lot of municipalities would not have gone the extra mile, and they would have looked at the old building and said, let's tear it down, let's build a new one. But repurposing was truly the way to go. And it was really kind of unique that the first event held in the recently renovated facility was an anniversary party for a couple that had met at a community dance at the old National Guard Armory. Retaining some of its charm of a building that holds so many memories and repurposing it with amenities for generations to come is truly why the City of Greer won the 2003 Park Excellence Award, the Cannon Center for population 30,000 and under. So at this time, I'd like to represent this award to Ann Cunningham.
This is very special to us. This award represents the hard work and dedication of many staff members throughout the city that were involved with the the planning and the renovation, as well as the recreation staff members who plan and program and manage this facility on a daily basis. I want to thank council, the mayor, Mr. Driggers. Your leadership, your support, your vision is what made this repurposing a reality. And this is truly a Team Greer Award. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Ask your staff to stand up, they're all back
Oh,
there. Some of them
absolutely.
back there in the back, y'all stand, there it is. Well, folks, as you can see, our staff has been busy. Council, you will also find, in addition to the reports that you've been given this evening, additional information regarding our different departments through their departmental reports, which have been presented for October. Mr. Slack will bring information in regards to our financial report, and we will move on from there.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we're pleased to bring to you the financial report for the period ended October 31st, 2013. At that time, we have year-to-date revenue of $1,798,833 and year-to-date expenditures of $5,051,228. And that amount on the expenditure side is 5% under budget. Referencing the dashboard, which tracks our financials on a more cyclical basis rather than across the board divided by 12. We have a positive variance for revenue of $117,419, a positive variance on the expenditure side of $479,410. Those two added together gives us a total positive variance of $596,829. The ending cash balance for period ending October 31st is $2,101,915. And that is I have one other piece of information, but I want to go ahead and present that to you. That's the financial report for October. If you have any questions on that, we'll be happy to answer those.
Council, questions or comments in that regard? Go ahead.
Thank you. Today we received proposals on our tax anticipation note, and we wanted to, get this in front of you and present this picture of our improving financial condition. 2 years ago, we borrowed $2.7 million on a tax anticipation note. Last year, it decreased a little bit down to $2.4 million. But this year, we're happy to tell you that we were able to extend the period where we did not need the money for an additional 3 weeks. But more importantly than that, we cut our borrowing down to $1.1 million.
Wow.
Those will be, that was received today. If you remember, we approved $3 million in the budget ordinance, only borrowed $1.1 million, and we'll be handling that and closing that out in the next week.
Worth a round of applause, Dave. Thank you to you and staff for your direction in that regard, and we appreciate all your work and direction that our administration gives to making those things happen. And in that regard, we will have our administrator's report. Mr. Driggers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. A couple of calendar items just as reminders. It will be a festive weekend for us next weekend as we begin by lighting the tree on Friday evening, December the 6th. We will have some events that evening for some of our employees and their families called Supper with Santa that evening. Hope that some of you are going to be able to participate in that, or at least come by and see some of our employees and their families. We'll be down at the Cannon Center for that event. And then also all morning on that Saturday, the following day, we will be having Breakfast with Santa. That is a sold-out event and a capacity crowd. We're very, very glad that that event is continuing to grow each year. Between the two, we now have, I guess, about 600 or so that will be either having supper or breakfast with Santa. He will be a busy St. Nick that weekend. And so that he gets no rest while in Greer, we'll be keeping him in town and participating in our community Christmas parade on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock and we look forward to seeing you in the community that day as well. But a very, very festive time for us. We're decorated, lights are up, lights are on. The only thing that we don't have lit as we go into the weekend, this weekend, will be the actual trees themselves, and we'll be lighting those the following Friday evening. So we're looking forward to that. Also, as a calendar item, we remind you that our Employee Appreciation Breakfast will be on Friday, December the 13th. That is a wonderful opportunity for us each year to bring in all of our employees, and we recognize them for their efforts. We recognize our folks for their seniority with the city. We recognize them based on their longevity, and we also have a little fun with our new folks who have joined us in the past year as well. So it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to come together. As you well know, we work a lot of shifts, a lot of different schedules, and this is one of the very few times each year that we get all of our folks together, and we look so forward to that, and we appreciate your support each year of allowing us to do that. A couple of things that we did want to make sure you are aware of. You may get some inquiry from constituents, and that's relative to our leaf collection program. We are in the midst of leaf collection, and that's going extremely well for us. As you know, we notify our community by a mail brochure each year of the routes that we'll be running, the dates that those routes will be in the respective zones, the respective neighborhoods. We give information about what we can and what we cannot pick up. We give information about our recycling program. We give telephone numbers for folks to reach out to us. But we also recognize that that's the type of brochure that maybe you put with a magnet on the refrigerator, and when it's time for your week to roll around, possibly you remember it. But we're also using an additional tool that we have this year, and it's gone extremely well for us. We've received very, very good comments from the community, and that's our Greer Connect resource. If you'll recall, that's the resource that we have that we can selectively designate zones of the city, and we can place a telephone call to the residents in that zone. We are doing that with our leaf collection program on the week prior. We're sending that out as a blast telephone message, letting them know that the following week will be their designated week for pickup. Again, we have received excellent response from the community relative to that reminder call. So if you should get questions about that or why that's happening, it's a tool that we already had in our toolbox, and we're learning other ways to utilize it to better serve our community. So we hope that you're getting some positive feedback on that as well. As we talk about some of the things relative to our Public Services Department, do know that we will be having suspended curbside collection on this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. While we will not collect on Thursday, those residents that are normally collected on Thursday will be collected Friday. So again, if you should have a constituent that is normally collected on Thursday and they ask you what the schedule is, we'll be picking them up the following day. The remainder of this week has been on our regular schedule. Our offices will be closed this Thursday and Friday, but of course all emergency operations and essential operations will be functioning as normal during that closure for the holiday. Some information was sent to you relative to the Chamber of Commerce's first Friday luncheon. That will also be held on December the 6th. I make it a point of bringing that to your attention because they're going to be highlighting many of the community's nonprofit charitable organizations. We think this is a wonderful opportunity that if you may not be familiar with many of those organizations, we invite you to join the Chamber and us as our guests that day. Simply let me know and we'll make sure that we make reservations for you for that event. It's always a wonderful crowd that's here for the Chamber's First Friday event, but we think this is an especially good opportunity to familiarize the community and us especially that work in local government to make sure that we are aware of those resources and what those folks are doing in our community as well. So if you have not seen that yet, when you return home this evening, you should see an email from me relative to getting some information for that meeting. I do also want to make you aware of a marketing piece that our partners over at Greer Station Association are involved in. Now, you wouldn't be receiving this because this was targeted to our neighbors over in the Sugar Creek and Thornblade community. You'll see at your place, I think we've provided those, in your mailboxes, you will see that about 1,500 direct mail pieces were directly targeted to our neighbors in the Sugar Creek and Thornblade area, encouraging them to do shopping in Greer. They are a part of our zip code area, they're a part of our community, and we want to make sure that when they have a choice to make of whether the car turns right or the car turns left, and they choose to shop, we want to make sure that they're coming to Greer and doing that as well. So we really appreciate our partners over at Greer Station Association, which of course is part of the Greer Development Corporation, that those folks are really reaching out to market our community and to bring commerce here into the Greer community as well. So we're really looking forward to having some new faces possibly as we are out doing our shopping here in the community. Also want to make you aware that the Partnership for Tomorrow has made their selection for the group that will be doing the Community Master Plan. That group is an organization called Kimley Horn, based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, but they also have offices in Greenville and have associate consultants that will be working with the partnership over the next 14 months. That is a 14-month community master plan that will involve the city and the surrounding areas of our city as well. You will be involved in that process, and as they really kind of hit the ground in December, getting all the planning done, the on-the-ground here in Greer work will begin in January, and again, you will be involved in that process as we continue to move forward. So we're excited to be a partner with Partnership for Tomorrow as we look at this next 14-month venture. As we recognized our 2012 CAFR Award for our Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, it is appropriate that we let you know that at your next meeting, on the December 10th meeting, we will be presenting the 2012-2013 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for our period ending June 30th, 2013. We have our preliminary numbers from that audit, and things look very positive, very good. The financial position of the city is continuing to improve, and I think you will be very pleased to see the results of that in the next couple of weeks as the finishing touches are put on that comprehensive annual financial report. But of course, the purpose of that is for us to state the financial position within financial documents and narrative form of how we are and how we are performing financially. Again, I think you'll be very pleased with that report, and we look forward to presenting that to you in the next 2 weeks. In conclusion, I would like to share with you a bit of what we do on a day-to-day basis. Periodically, we like to share good stories, good messages that we receive. And this is a note that I received through our Public Services Department. It's a very short note, but I thought it would give you an idea of what our guys are out there doing on the street each and every day. This is a note that one of our residents over on Fairview Avenue came out and hand-delivered to our staff, our crew, working there on the street, and said, please make sure you share this with all the folks in your organization. One of our residents wrote, said, I just want to say thanks for the great job you are doing on my street. You guys may not hear it all the time or not enough, but I wanted to say I appreciate all of your hard work and to keep Greer looking good. That's when we're out there doing what we're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis. It's always nice when the public recognizes the hard work of Team Greer. And for that resident and many others that share those comments, I say thank you to our team for what they do each and every day. This season of Thanksgiving, we are thankful to be employees of the City of Greer. We are thankful to have the opportunity to represent this wonderful community, and we are very thankful for the support that you provide to us administratively and to all of our team members throughout the organization. So we wanted to take the time tonight as well to say thank you for the support that you lend to us. That concludes my report. I have no items in executive session for council's consideration unless there are items specifically from council.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Council will move to appointments of the boards and commissions. These are our unsung heroes sometimes that do a lot of the work for our city and don't often get the kind of accolades or praise that they deserve for helping us out with many of the functions of the city, and we do have some appointments that need to be made or at least considered tonight, the first of which is the Housing Authority. Saul Strange, actually his term expired 10/31/2013. Are there any nominations in regards to appointments to the Housing Authority this evening? If not, we will carry that over to our next meeting, and I would urge council to seek more information about that, and we will look towards filling that position and getting more information about Mr. Strange's desire or not to continue in that. We also have a nomination in regards to the Greer Development Corporation Board of Directors. This is one of the seats that we get to nominate. Mr. Larry Wilson's term will expire at the end of 2013. This is a 3-year term. Any nominations in regards to this appointment this evening?
Mayor and Council, there is some information contained in your package from Mr. Deaton relative to that appointment. Mr. Wilson has been an active member of that board and has indicated, if it is at the pleasure of council, would be certainly willing to continue to serve if that is council's desire.
Thank you, sir. Hearing that information and recommendation, do we have any nominations this evening?
I'm nominating Mr. Wilson.
Have a motion? Second to that regard?
Second.
Any discussion in regards to Mr. Wilson? Ms. Duncan?
I was just going to say that Mr. Wilson is he's a good part of the board of directors of GDC. He does a great job, and he's very attentive, and he brings a good perspective, having moved to this town and seen what's been going on in the last 15 or so years. So he's a great member. He really is.
Good. Others? Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Ms. Bookert,
Yes.
Mr. Dumas,
Yes.
Mr. Bettis,
Yes.
Ms. Albert,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Yes. Council, we only have one item of old business this evening. That is the second and final reading of Annexation Ordinance 34, 2013. Mr. Pace joins us for that. This is an ordinance to provide for the annexation of property owned by V.N. Kwan Monastery located at 1107 Poplar Drive Extension by 100% petition, and to establish a zoning classification of R15 for said property. Any new or additional information in regards to this second reading, Mr. Pace?
Mr. Mayor and Council, the public hearing was held October the 21st by the Planning Commission for this annexation and zoning of the property. In regards to that, no one spoke in favor or in opposition to the request, and Planning Commission unanimously recommends approval of it.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to receive.
So motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Floor is open for discussion. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Ms. Bookert,
Yes.
Mr. Dumas,
Yes.
Mr. Bettis,
Yes.
Ms. Albert,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Yes. Don't venture too far. We'll do one item of new business, and then we'll bring you back to the podium, sir. Our first item of new business is a bid summary in regards to re-roofing at Kids Planet. As you can tell, Ms. Cunningham has already beat me to the podium, or beat us to the podium, so she has the information in that regard.
Anxious. Yes, it is time for us to re-roof the six picnic shelters and the 2 restroom buildings. This is you should have a bid summary of those that did present bids for this project. We have reviewed those bids and certainly checked references, and we are asking, with your approval, if we could award this project to Premier Roofing out of Easley, South Carolina.
You have a recommendation from the department head. Do I hear a motion to receive?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, simultaneous on both. We'll let Ms. Duncan sort that out. Floor is open for discussion or questions. Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Ms. Bookert,
Yes.
Mr. Dumas,
Yes.
Mr. Bettis,
Yes.
Ms. Albert,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Congratulations, Ann. Well-deserved award, and we appreciate all the work that you and your group put into making our department one of the best in the state, and I think that's reflective in the recognition that y'all receive, and so thank you again to you and your staff. We have the first reading of annexation ordinance 37-2013. This is an ordinance to provide for the annexation of property owned by the city of Greer located at 1725, 1726, and 1727 American Legion Road by 100% petition to establish a zoning classification of R 7.5 residential said property. Mr. Pace.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Public hearing was held by the Planning Commission at the November 18th meeting in regards to this. This property was purchased by the city in order to correct some drainage issues that are in that area, and that work has been completed. This area is not really a viable piece of property, but now it is owned by us, and we felt it appropriate to bring that property into the city due to the fact that we do now own it, and the appropriate zoning classification that blends with the neighborhood is R 7.5.
Typically ask for owner or representative of the owner to raise their hand. I'm not sure that is entirely necessary in this case. We're here. You have the information before you. I'll entertain a motion to receive.
So motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. Council, we have the first reading of ordinance number 38-2013. This is an ordinance to change the zoning classification of property owned by Brandon Drive LLC located at 107 Brandon Drive from OD to C2 commercial. Mr. Pace?
Yeah, Mayor and Council, if I can, I'll refer to item 38, 2013, and 39, 2013. These two properties are side by side on Brandon Drive, just behind the Dairy Queen, up on the left, across from the Lowe's parking area, or side area. These properties were bought to the city a little while back, and were zoned OD intent of building an office there. That never came to fruition. Obviously, property has been marketed for quite some time as OD without much success. The owners of the property have come to the Planning Commission requesting C2 zoning, which is surrounded by C3 zoning. It does fit within our highway transitional district along Wade Hampton Boulevard also, and the Planning Commission on November the 18th did recommend for approval of that request, and at the public hearing, no one spoke in favor or in opposition to either of these requests, and therefore they recommend unanimous for approval of those.
You hear the recommendation. Do I hear a motion to receive?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. The floor is open for discussion or questions of Mr. Pace. Hearing none. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. We'll now entertain the first reading of ordinance number 39-2013. This is an ordinance to change the zoning classification. Let's see. Okay, yeah, all right, excuse me. A property owned by Kenneth Messer located at 111 Brandon Drive from OD to C2 commercial. You heard the explanation in regards to both ordinances 38 and 39 from Mr. Pace. Any additional information in that regard, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, I have moved ahead here with, got so caught up in what we were doing. Is the owner of the property or a representative of the owner of the property for either of these two with us this evening? If you'll show your hand, please. Thank you for joining us. Would either one of you like to add anything to these proceedings?
Believe it's necessary, but it will aid the owners in marketing the property and bringing some more commerce and jobs to the area. So I think it's a good thing.
Good. Thank you, sir. Others?
It just seems to be a natural fit with everything else over there, and it will help that land be developed in a way that will be beneficial to the city of Greer and the owners as well.
Thank you, sir. excuse my tardiness in jumping over 38 there. I just got moving along where we were annexing our own land and just jumped over that. So now that we have heard from the owners or representatives of the owners in regards to these two properties, any further questions or comments in regards to first reading of ordinance number 39-2013? Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood?
Yes.
Oh, don't have a motion.
We don't have a motion on that, excuse me, I really have. I lost my touch, Mr. Griffin.
No, you doing just
Having heard from those folks, I will entertain a motion to receive number 39-2013.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion or questions that have come to your mind in my absence of mind? If not, Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes. In regards to first reading of ordinance 40-2013, I believe you have information in that regard, Mr. Pace.
Yes, Mayor and Council, it is requested by the occupant or the applicant of this property for the renaming of that street to table that request until a time that is beneficial to them to gain some more information in regards to the naming process, and therefore we are requesting that it be tabled at this time until a future meeting.
At the request of the applicant, I'll entertain a motion to table ordinance number 40-2013.
So motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions in that regard? Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Ms. Booker?
Yes.
Mr. Dumas?
Yes.
Mr. Bettis?
Yes.
Ms. Albert?
Yes.
Mayor Danner?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, sir. Council, as you are aware, the County Council has created a format for the Greenville Citizens Road Advisory Commission. This commission was set up in regards to gathering more information relative to a potential countywide sales tax to address road issues throughout the county. The formula for determining who would serve on this advisory commission was that each representative of the county council will nominate someone, and then each municipality will nominate someone. This board or commission will convene then to submit roads that they feel worthy of attention, and that list will be turned back over to the county council as they proceed with consideration of a capital project sales tax. I believe Mr. Triggers has some additional information in regards to the commission and a possible appointee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Contained in your package is a communication that was sent to the administrators and manager of Greenville County notifying us of our responsibility, if we should so choose, to appoint someone to this commission, to the review committee. We have a 45-day window, which is defined by the action of county council. We are still within the 45 days, whether we would take action on this request this evening or if we were to take action at your December the 10th meeting. So it is certainly a matter that you certainly have the ability to hold over if you require additional information or some additional time to consider. While an elected official is not eligible to serve on the commission, which is by the action of county council as well, they are also requesting that staff members of the respective municipalities also not serve, nor would staff of the county serve on that as well. This would be a citizen-driven committee that would be taking a look at this potential project. As we as a community have looked at this opportunity, also our Chamber of Commerce is greatly interested in this, and through that organization they have made a recommendation to council to consider. We want to make sure that we're clear that the appointment of city council is solely at your discretion, and this is only a recommendation. But contained in that recommendation is a biography of Miss Donna O. Smith. I have personally served with Miss Smith on a number of chamber activities and events as well, and I can personally attest that if it is council's desire to make that appointment, she would be a fine representative. But it certainly, again, is at council's discretion of who that appointment shall be. And this comes to you as a recommendation from the Chamber of Commerce. I notice that Mr. Smith is in the audience today, and he may have some additional information to share on that as well, if you would like.
Thank you, Mr. Dreers, members of council, Mr. Mayor. I really don't have much to offer other than what you've already read. Mrs. Smith obviously meets the minimum qualifications that are laid out in the resolution in terms of her residence, but she far exceeds the qualifications in the fact that she has served in legislative capacities, not as an elected official, but as a volunteer, both at local, state, regional, and even national levels. She has relationships established within Greenville County that I think will propel our interest as it relates to local projects to the top. So I would appreciate your serious consideration of this recommendation. Ms. Smith currently serves as the Vice Chair of Legislative Affairs for the Greer Chamber of Commerce. That term would be expiring at the end of this year, and someone else would be taking that seat effective January 1st. So there wouldn't be any conflicts of interest as far as that's concerned.
Thank you, sir. Any questions of Mr. Smith?
Thank you.
She does reside in the city limits now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Others? Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. Council, the time frame has been set. There has been a recommendation. I'll entertain a nomination if you feel that it is timely or appropriate tonight.
Mayor, I'm make a motion to nominate Ms. Donna Smith. I've known her for quite some years, and I think that we can find a better representative, somebody to look after Greer. And one of the things that I look for on a board like this is somebody that loves Greer, and I know she loves Greer, you know, and she's got our best interests at heart. And she's a fireball, you know, so we need somebody that's going to look after Greer. She's perfect.
May I have a motion? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ms. Smith would be the first person we would vote on tonight. Are there other nominations to come from council this evening? If I hear none, then we will move forward with a vote on Ms. Smith. Ms. Duncan?
Mr. Arrowood,
Yes.
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
Ms. Booker,
Yes.
Mr. Dumas,
Yes.
Mr. Bettis,
Yes.
Ms. Albert,
Yes.
Mayor Danner.
Yes. Council, since we have no further items to consider in executive session this evening, I would wish all of you a safe and blessed Thanksgiving, and may your respective team win. We won't get into that this evening unless we have a divided council. But with that, we stand adjourned.